everybody! Yes, I'm here with Ferrets. Hello, Ferrets. How are you?
Uh, you know, I'm here.
You're here. Have you been playing Dragon Age: The Veilguard?
We're doing that game again.
Yeah, it's.
Still?
I got to build it. I got to build an extension on my house. All jokes aside,
I've
obviously,
gotta
this.
pay off my car.
I was going to say, all jokes aside, obviously, this channel's not monetized, but yeah, it's the going joke amongst the community is that
Wait,
the
hold on. You're saying that we're not making any money?
not off this, no, not until we hit 1,000, but
The hell
close to it.
are we doing this for then?
I don't know. Educate people.
Man, I feel like I'm just being used now.
Well,
Damn it.
I'm not getting paid either.
Well, then that just makes you a fool.
Does that make me I'm using myself?
Yes.
So guys, go sub to the channel and make Ferrets happy. Um, but yes, obviously, guys, the Dragon Age players have reportedly demanded refunds in droves. So sources close to BioWare and EA have reported that the refunds on Dragon Age: The Veilguard have reached unprecedented numbers since the game launched on the 31st of October. If one were to keep their media consumption to outlets like IGN and Kotaku open, they might be led to believe that EA and BioWare's latest action game is unmitigated success. And this is what something we actually pointed out last week, was that really it's a success because at the end of the day, you look at like shows or sorry, not shows, games like, for example, Black Myth Wukong that did infinitely better than Vanguard. Like Vanguard topped at like 100,000 players, or 89,000 players actually. Where Black Myth Wukong topped over like millions. But anyway, however, sources close to the game's development have been coming out in woodwork to spill the story, or spill the tea. As reportedly going on as a prominent independent YouTuber personality, simply put, it's no longer looking good for one of the popular studios. YouTube Idomion has been covering the game's release because he does need to build an extension on his house, and sources claim that not only are fans demanding their money back but unsatisfactory experience, they are demanding their money back in huge numbers. He has also been told in terms of refunds, its currently game has had at least 30,000 refunds in the past few days. Ademion said in his video linked above, which is not good for your game that has barely sold 500,000 copies to be hammering players like that. Players like that. So generally speaking, Veilguard is not a success. I would say it's not a success because of the fact they haven't even sold 100,000 copies when you got, like I say, Black Myth Wukong that sells millions. To me, that's a huge success. I don't know. What did you count a game that sells 90,000 copies as a success? Ferrets? I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, yeah, if you could consider that a success, and we have two different versions of success.
Yeah, like, like this is not a niche game. This is an RPG. Like, this is a existing profile or existing IP. Like, at the end of the day, you would sit there and think that at the very least they should be able to hit 150, 200, thousand copies at least. But considering the money they've spent on this, like, you got to remember this game was in development also for 10 years. Like, God knows how much they've spent making this game. There's a reason why they're not putting out a DLC. It's because the game is not very well received. But on more news on Dragon Age: The Vanguard, multiple insider sources, support claims of abysmal sales. Despite the pretty picture the gaming access media has been trying to paint, the information was first reported by YouTuber Ademion, citing the inside sources close to EA and BioWare projects. So in the video, a total, and what I'm told is that the Veilguard might have sold anywhere from around up to 500,000 range, Endymion said in a video posted to his popular YouTube channel, which may sound good to some, but this is a completely abysmal for a game of this level. These numbers would put Dragon Age the Veilguard well below the noted flops like Ubisoft Star Wars Outlaws, which Ubisoft currently confirmed underperforming sales, selling over 1 million copies. So, to give you an idea, Ubisoft claimed that Star Wars was underperforming and it sold 1 million copies. This game has sold around 500,000, which is half of that again. So it makes you wonder, like if Star Wars that sells double your games is an unmitigated disaster or underperforming sales, what do you think of a game that sells 500,000? So generally speaking, Veilguard is not a complete success. He said it needs to be sell around the 4 to 5 million mark to make profit at least. I don't know, like 500,000 copies, like selling wise, it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't sound like it's a big number to me. It just sounds like it's really small. Like, 10 years in development, you're probably spending, what's the, actually, we can use ChatGPT to work this out, actually. So, let's go to here. Hey chat, I am making a video game that will take 10 years to make. How many copies should I sell to make it profitable? Number of copies has several factors into it. Development cost, marketing, blah, blah, blah. Game price, right. Okay. So, let's say game price is, what was it, $70 for Veilguard?
Yeah, I think so. It is a generally, yeah.
So, assuming that it's cost $70 to calculate, now they're saying the development marketing cost is 10 million, price per copy is 70, platform cost is 30% taken because of like Steam and stuff like that. So how many staff would this count? Just make the number of staff needed, right? Yeah, okay, so it's not taking into account the staff members. How many staff worked on Dragon Age? Veilguard. Publicly disclosed. So how many work for was BioWare. Right, so they have, right, so let's say my studio needs 200 staff. It was 10 years in development, and the game sells for $70. So the total development cost is around $200 million. So it's around a 70 split for the platform. Number of costs. All right, so number of copies sold needs to be around the 4 million mark. To break even, 4.08 million copies. 30% profit margin, it's 2.9. So you're looking at around, it needs to sell around 5 million copies. And they sold 500,000. I don't know how the studios are going to survive this.
Maybe it's a time that they don't. Just hang it up.
Well, this is the one thing that obviously, like with me making my own game, right? This is the one thing that I've got to sort of weigh up. Like, it's fine for me to sit here in my spare time and make this game, but then if I do actually go to actually making this and selling this game and stuff, I'm going to need a studio. I'm going to need my own staff members. Blah blah blah. By the way, if I make my own studio, I'm going to have the biggest American Australian flag on the fucking wall. And if anyone gets triggered walking in, I'm sorry, you don't get the job. But what I was going to say was, at the end of the day, this is the one thing that I've got to take into account is, like, you know, like, you're committing to it. It's big boy panties time. Like, you know, like, it's a big thing. But obviously, Dragon Age of Veilguard is practically worthless after only a week. Trade-in value has plummeted. So players are discovering that Dragon Age of Veilguard's trade-in value is plummeted only a week after release. So it failed to reach 90,000 compliant titles on Steam. It's barely sold more than 500,000 copies. So it's also had around 30,000 refunds. So unfortunately for the gamers who purchase the physical copies, it's a little bit difficult to return open games for a full cash refund. So yeah, it was sold for 70. However, it's been listed in a value in trade at $22. And let's go through and let's bring up EB Games here in Australia. And let's look up Dragon Age. So, okay, so $100 or $110 brand new. Fucking forget it. Pre-order. No, sorry, actually. Condition. Pre-owned. I can't even find it. I can't even find it here listed. Alright. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Fritz, about this whole Dragon Age thing?
I think it's a time to how do I say this kindly? Take the dog out to the shed.
Take the horse out and make it glue?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it needs to go and see greener pastures.
Yeah, well, this is always the thing, right? Like these game devs and stuff that are killing these studios. They really don't care, because at the end of the day, well, okay, so what? I've killed a game studio with our wokeness idea. Next studio, and they just move on. They're like locusts.
I know.
How many movies, how many shows have we not had because of wokeness has destroyed the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth movie? whatever it may be. You look at Star Wars, episodes 4, 5, 6, long regard as the best. 1, 2, 3, behind that. And then it's 7, 8, 9. Okay, well, 7, 8, 9, especially 9 is disaster. Why? Maybe we would have got a 10th Star Wars if 9 had been decent. If they hadn't have wokeified Star Wars, would we be on the 11th, 12th Star Wars now? Or Blade, you look at Blade, right? Blade 3 was, let's face it, was a little bit woke. You know, we had Whistler's daughter in there that was a badass, and, you know, we had the blind girl, of course, who was the scientist, and, you know, all this sort of shit, right? I mean, you know, like, if Blade 3 had been decent, then it was long thought of as being shit. I thought it was okay, but it was barely okay. But if I thought it was like, you know, if it had been like a really good movie, like 1 or 2 was, or thought to be is, would we have had a Blade 4 or 5 by now? Like I say, they're like locusts. They consume and then they just move on to the next one when it dies off. But let us know your thoughts are in the comment section below. Alright, Rockstar and Warner Brothers rumoured to be remaking Batman Arkham Asylum after Suicide Squad killed the Justice League financial disaster. This is what I'm sort of talking about too, right? When Warner Brothers game and Rocksteadies are rumoured to be remaking a Batman Arkham Asylum, the latest rumour comes from the YouTuber Veilguard, who wrote on X, Rocksteady is adding Deathstroke and a real Batman to the one that we originally wanted to see in Suicide Kill Justice League. It seems like they're desperate to get players back into the game, but it's too late. Warner Brothers recently spoke about franchises they'd like to focus on DC, specifically Batman was mentioned. But here's the thing. Are we going to get Batman, or are we going to get soy cuck Batman who cries into his tears because he's, you know, a victim?
Well, I mean, you know, we're actually going to get a Batman who is not Batman, but it's not Batwoman.
Oh, God, don't even joke about that, man. I've still got PTSD from the fucking TV show Batwoman. But, you know, it does make you wonder, like, okay, like, maybe they'll sit there and go, look, we can't go through and just gender swap characters. So what do? Right, we'll make Batman. Okay, how do we make Batman better? Well, what if we make it so that he sits around talking about his trauma? We saw this with fucking Tomb Raider. Right? How many times sat around talking about her trauma? It's like, dude, you're a fucking Tomb Raider. You know what we want? We want to see you bouncing around with your big fucking melons, raiding tombs, and being a badass. The last thing we want to hear about is you talking about your fucking feelings. It's like, you fucking Tomb Raider. The most we want to hear about feelings is like you going, spider! I don't know. Like, does any of this shit? Do you want to see any of this shit? First?
Do I want to see it?
Yeah, you.
No, I mean, first of all,
hang on, let me ask you this way: would you rather Angelina Jolie and the old? Have you seen the original Tomb Raider movies?
Yes.
Yes. Would you rather them or what we've seen of the new Tomb Raider movies that was on Netflix?
I prefer the oldies are better than the currents.
You like big bouncy oldies rather than current ones, right?
Yes, I'm all for the big bouncies. Yeah.
Yeah. And how many guys do you think are going to say that? Like, as a percentage, 70, 80, 90% of guys are going to agree to that?
About 70, yeah.
Yeah. You're going to get a few cucks that sit there and go, oh my God, that's sexy. But it's probably going to be few and far between. You got guys that are gay that would probably rather check out the male stars. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's probably closer to 70, 75, 80% of men are going to want big, bouncy Lara Croft. So make that fucking show!
You know, whatever happened to the whole idea that sex actually sells?
Well, the problem with sex is that, oh my god, you're exploiting women.
Guess it then no longer sells then, huh?
Oh, it definitely still sells. Fucking Stellar Blade and all these sort of games, right? You look at how much they're selling.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, I almost fucking went out and brought a PlayStation to play Stellar Blade. I even priced it. I'm like, what does a new PlayStation cost these days? Oh, okay. What about PlayStation 5? What does that cost? It was like $500. I'm like, I can play Stellar Blade for $500. Yeah, I'd get myself into some of these other games as well that are only on PlayStation. It would be a win-win. Only problem I didn't buy it was, well, because I kind of got a whole bunch of bills at the other time at the point. But also, I was worried I couldn't play it one-handed.
And who knows? You might like it so much you might actually continue on for the story.
Oh, well, that's true too. Apparently, the story is actually pretty good, actually. But, alright, guys, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Jump on to the next one. Sweet Baby Inc. affected Alan Wake 2 has still not recouped its development and marketing costs. So
Probably never will.
Remedy Game Entertainment, the developer who hired Sweet Baby Inc. to work on Alan Wake 2, admitted that the game is still not recouped its development costs. Alan Wake 2 was released, to give you an idea, of February 2024. No, wait. December of 2023. No, hang on. Wait.
Nah, this guy is great with dates, isn't he?
Well, no, hang on. There's several dates in this. Okay. When did Alan Wake 2 come out? Alan Wake 2 video game was released October 27th, 2023. Suck my nuts. So it's been out now for almost over a year, and it still has not recouped its money. But that's pretty bad, actually. So shared that Alan Wake 2 did not generate royalties. The last time the company revealed sales data for the game was in January to March 2024. It shared that in February 2024, the announcement that Alan Wake 2 had sold 1.3 million copies. So the company had previously reported that the game had sold 1 million copies by the end of December 2023. Oh, damn it. It literally says right here in the next line. The game was released on October 27th, 2023. Unlike Alan Wake 2, generate any royalties from the game. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is an absolute disaster. These studios are just, dude, they're getting fucking slaughtered. All the news that we're covering at the moment is about these game studios not being able to make a profit on gaming. It's like they're all affected with some ideology. Who would have thought? Have you played Alan Wake 2? What are your thoughts on it if you played it?
I don't actually know if I played the first one.
No, I haven't played the first one. I know I haven't played the second one. I don't want to play it though. That's the thing. Like when I hear about all this sort of shit, I'm just like, yeah, I'll pass. I've got a mate that's set to play it next because he actually did go out and buy a PlayStation to buy Star Blade. He can play one-handed. But I was going to say, he's saying to me that he's going through The Last of Us at the moment.
Nice.
He's done part 1. He's on to part 2, I think. And
no.
And I wasn't. I try not to tell him about the part 2 disaster. And I was just like, oh yeah, when you get to part 2, let me know what your thoughts. And he was like, why? What's wrong? And apparently he was on like reading a review or something of like part 1, and they mentioned in part 2 about the Abby killing the guy, the lead in part 2. And he was like, he just messages me the next day. He's like, dude, what the fuck? And I'm like, what? He goes like, what? Abby kills Joel? I think his name is Joel. And I'm like, oh, you found out, have you? And he goes, dude, this is nuts. And I'm just like, yeah, we're like talking about it for like 5 or 10 minutes. He's just like, this is so fucking bad. But he's set to play Alan Wake 2 after this. And every time he mentions to me about, oh, I'm going to play Alan Wake 2 soon, because he's so keen for it. And I'm just like, oh, yeah. I'm trying not to let him know just how bad it is. Because from what I hear, it's pretty fucking work. But I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't watch this video, because I don't want to surprise it. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Amazon's developing Mass Effect TV series from the F9 Fast and Furious saga writer. So Amazon Studios is reportedly developing a Mass Effect TV series from the director who did the writer who did the Fast and the Furious 9. So is officially in development at MGM Studios. He added that Daniel Cassie is not only writing the show but will executive produce it as well. This is probably not going to be that work actually, so it sounds like it might be alright. It was reported back in November 2021 that Prime Videos was working on a deal to develop Mass Effect, the series. MGM Studios boss Jennifer Salk shared with Adrivia, you'll see us continuing to invest in fantasy genres of all kinds. We have a game-focused team on the ground in studio who work tirelessly with our creative partners. Yeah, but as long as you actually stick to the lore and actually make it based on like the actual games, you'll be fine. Just don't workify it. I haven't actually, I know this is going to be controversial, I haven't actually played Mass Effect Andromeda or any of the Andromeda series. This is the part where you go on about how it's sacrilege and you burn them at the stake.
I mean, I haven't played them either, so...
Oh god, we're both getting burned at the stake. But, you know, like I say, from what I hear is that I hear they're pretty good. So...
Actually, no, I have actually played Mass Effect Andromeda.
Right.
I played it when it first came out, and it was kind of bad.
Really?
Yeah, not bad story-wise, but like a bad gameplay-wise, because there was like so many things actually wrong with it.
Right. Actually, I think I do own Mass Effect.
That was years ago, though.
Hang on, where's my library? Games, Mass. No, I thought I owned Mass Effect. I don't. Yeah, like I said, I thought I played it, but I hadn't. I might have played it on Xbox. But like I said, yeah, at the end of the day, I haven't actually. I sat down and played it. I'll probably do a playthrough one day. I'm still trying to get through Assassin's Creed. There's just, dude, I've got so much. I need a clone. Can I clone myself? Is it legal? But at the end of the day, yeah, like I say, it's just as long as they stick to the lore and the history, there shouldn't be a problem with this.
If they stick to it, which a lot of times that's a 50-50 right there.
Yeah, well, if they don't, then we'll fucking crucify it on the YouTube channel, and if they do, we'll give it props. I suppose. But, yeah. Any other thoughts on the developing a Mass Effect TV series?
Other than I hope it turns out a lot better than the Halo TV series.
That too, yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? That was done by Amazon. You know.
Was it?
Yeah, that was Amazon.
Was it done by Amazon?
Yeah, that was Amazon
It
Prime.
it was done by Amazon, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mm, yeah. So who knows, right? All right, and the last story for the day, besides Star Citizen stuff, is not really game related, but it's just funny. So I might actually put this up as a separate video. But while I've got Fez here, Fez? Have you heard of the new Wicked movie that's coming out?
No, actually, I don't watch scary movies.
Yeah, it's not really that. Well, it's scary because of the fact of just the acting, but yeah, it's not supposed to. It's like a children's scary movie. Um, but they went through and they made a toy. They went through and showed and made these dolls and stuff for for the promotion of the TV show. So here you've got the Wicked doll. It's got the you can probably see it on the screen. It's got the the princess and everything like that, right? And everything like that. It's made by Mattel. And if you go to the back of the doll, it tells you it takes you to a website called Wicked.com. Now,
Yeah.
Fez knows because we've already been laughing about this, but if you go to Wicked.com, I found a spot that I can show you without getting banned on YouTube. It's it's a porn site.
No, it's a researchable material provider site.
Well, actually, technically, it's a studio site. So Wicked make all these videos. They're the studio that makes them. But yeah, it's like these are the guys that go through and make all the adult pornography. So when they turn around and they link to the website wicked.com, it doesn't go well for Mattel. So they have absolutely been flamed uh, in the comments section. Large corporations always do some weird shit like this. Leave the kids alone. Someone wrote another one that just posted a meme saying someone's about to get fired. Another one is that this is actually illegal. Someone else probably owns that domain name on purpose, hopes the company buys it. It's actually a porn website. He doesn't know. He haven't looked it up. This should be a criminal matter. Someone else that is wicked. Someone else had to pull up the VPN just to be safe. Someone wrote, "Would you buy this toy?" 70% said no. So 30% said yes. Someone else, "This is the real and blew my mind." But yeah, it's just that they absolutely got inflamed in the comments, and I believe they've come out and publicly apologized for this. But yeah, it does make me wonder. Like, there's always a lot of this stuff where they go through and accidentally do this stuff. But it always does accidentally seem to go to these adult websites. Like they don't accidentally go to like the Trump website, for example. It does make you wonder, right? And this is, of course, on the back of the disaster of someone going through and redoing the poster. So the original poster actually hides a lot of the girl's face. It just shows sort of like the from the nose down, and the rest of the face is covered in a shadow. But when they went through and redid the poster, they went through and they've shown the actress's face. Now, the reason why this is a big thing is because the original poster actually goes through and it's a bit more ambiguous as to whether she's good or bad. All right, it's like you just see the smirk on the face. You don't get to see the eyes, and it's like this figure hidden in the shadow with this sort of smirk on their face.
You
But
know,
sorry,
I have um if you go back to the second image,
so that one, yep.
yeah, that right there kind of makes me think of like, hey, that's how this one porn video started that I remember.
Wow. I'm pretty sure this is like the intro to like Debbie Goes to Hell or something like that, isn't it? But um, But what I was gonna say was, at the end of the day, like the thing was that this woman went through and actually redesigned the second poster, or the remakes poster, to look more like the first poster, right? Because they wanted that art style. And then the actual actress came out and actually flamed the girl who made the second poster, who made the fan poster, claiming that, that you're erasing me from the poster and blah 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 blah. So,
He's just upset that it's better than hers.
well, I also think it's a bit of ego too, right? It's like, how dare you not put me on the front page? How dare people have a poster where you can't see my face? It's the same with the Mandalorian, and this the guy that plays the Mandalorian getting upset because he can't take his helmet off. It's like, well, dude, you're in a TV show where, guess what, you run around as a Mandalorian. There's not gonna be a lot of scenes where you take your helmet off, dude. But like, it's ego. It's all it is. She's upset because of the fact that they've gone through and they've removed her from the cover. So we've got controversies like this going on. We've got them going through putting the link to the Wicked website, which is definitely not the movie. Like, it's like we're setting this up. This movie's set up to be another failure. Again, Hollywood's about to lose money on the Wicked movie.
Honestly, I don't think that they care at this point.
The movie Wicked release date. Oh, they have to care because they can't have. So Wicked Part 1 is coming out on the 22nd of November. But they can't keep having failures, dude. Like, they can't support the studios if they keep failing. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on this whole? Do you reckon it was a mistake, or do you reckon someone's gone through and thought they'll be funny and put it on there and forgot to change it back?
Uh, well, probably. I don't know though.
It's hard to say. All right, Star Citizen.
Oh boy.
Your Polaris came out.
Yeah, but it has some bugs with it.
Yeah. We've actually got a video that we filmed yesterday where you actually go through and you give a tour of the Polaris. I haven't uploaded it yet. So that'll probably go out tonight after this as well.
And also, I just want to make sure that everybody understands that it was made by RSI.
Is it because of the lack of signage telling it was made by
Yeah,
RSO, right?
there's a huge lack of official branding all over the freaking ship. It's not as if there was a actual manufacturer's name on the fucking elevator, floor even. But yeah,
Did we get a Star Citizen live this week?
Uh, technically yes, but it wasn't live. It was pre-recorded, and
Right.
it didn't follow the same format as Star Citizen Live. It was more like a watered down inside Star Citizen for like like hour.
I didn't
It
even
was
I didn't see it even come up on my recommendeds.
it was pretty low effort. Just like, well, I just don't want to say that.
Like, oh yeah, I don't
Uh,
remember seeing it.
yeah, it came out. It wasn't anything special, but it came out. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it just goes to show you take a week off, or a few weeks off Star Citizen Live, and because they had the whole sitcom thing, and so we got the IAE trailer that came out 4 days ago.
Yeah, it came out 3 days ago called Star Citizen Live, yeah, Q&A characters and creatures.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much a hour-long Q&A session.
And we got Inside Star Citizen, which was all about sitcom. I didn't even see, to be honest, man, I didn't even see that coming up.
I mean, it's because you're constantly working in the code base, man. You're not really out here living in the real world.
It's real great to be a citizen right now.
In a word, spellbind.
Sorry.
Oh, so you get to have other goes.
Sorry, the bloody thing kicked open. I missed that. You were saying something about Codeburst, sorry.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah.
No, the video started playing when I just moved it over to... Yeah. But yeah, you're right. I have been distracted by obviously going through and working on the game and trying to get that working. We do have the trailer for the IAE, which is about 40 seconds long, so we'll watch that and we'll probably react to that right now. We won't do the Star Citizen Live or Inside Star Citizen because Inside Star Citizen is 20 minutes and the Star Citizen Live is an hour, of course.
You're saying that you don't want to sit here for an hour and 30 minutes?
I'll probably sit here for an hour and 30 minutes talking to you, but I don't know if we'll sit here for an hour doing the show for that long. I got I got coding to write still, but let's go through and let's check out this. Have you seen the IAE Save the Date trailer?
Yeah.
All right. So this is my first time reacting. I'm guessing the Polaris is going to be IAE.
No. No. It's not gonna be.
First thing that happens on screen, Polaris comes out of warp. So we got a shot there of a new MISC ship. So obviously we get to see the Zeus, which
the Zeus, but the new MISC ship is right. Like you just missed it.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
So that is the I'm guessing
The Starlancer.
Starlancer, sorry, yeah. By this stage, I'm thinking Chris is just going through his old games and just naming ships after games. Yeah. So that's the 890 jump, of course. The Zeus, the Starlancer.
Yeah, it's not the Zeus. That's the C1.
C1, is it?
Yeah. Or the day one. It's one of them.
Yeah, sorry, just too, yeah. Cool. Looks good. Is there anything at the end to sort of tease us a little bit?
No.
Fine. Yeah. Apart from that, so obviously I have some videos to catch up on. 20 minutes for an Inside Star Citizen is not bad. It got 47,000 views. It's not too bad. But you're just saying the content's just lackluster, was it?
Yeah.
It's interesting they didn't actually add it to the Inside Star Citizen playlist either.
Maybe not yet.
No. But
they're still pretty busy, I think, with wrapping things up and still getting things rolling.
It did actually go through, and it has been affected by the not being shown on the recommended page apparently, because like we're talking about, it's gone from 30,000 views or.
It's real great to be a citizen, right?
So the Inside Star Citizen it got 47,000 views, but the normal Inside Star Citizen gets around 100 to 115. 130, 180, 92, 80, 70, 100. So, you know, it's basically got about half the amount of views that would have normally got. Like I said, I didn't see it coming up on my recommended. So I completely totally missed it even. I didn't even know it came up. So it wasn't recommended to me. And then obviously Star Citizen Live, which is QA, which is characters and creatures, which I probably am going to be interested in more than anybody. Because I love like animations and stuff like that. Well, I don't love animation. I don't love doing that. I love the end result. I've been working on a wolf for the past few months that howls at the moon and all sorts of stuff. I was going to show you actually, but then my project crashed, so I need to redo it. But I was going to say, but yeah, so I'll probably be interested in that more than anybody. But it's sort of like it's a pretty niche sort of thing. It's like if you're interested in dev, you sort of get interested in that sort of stuff. All right. Apart from that, is there anything in Star Citizen else that we have missed, or that's coming out, or that we want to talk about?
Not that really comes to mind.
It's a pretty slow week, isn't it?
It's probably going to be slow for quite a bit.
Yeah. I imagine everybody's sort of rushing to get the 4.0 out so they can go to Christmas break. Alright guys, apart from that, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Obviously links to our Discord are in the description below as well, so feel free to jump in and join us if you want. Normally it's just me and Ferrets talking shit. But apart from that, yeah. Apart from that, if you have any questions, any comments, feel free to post anything in the description or comments. You got anything to add, Ferrets? Any final remarks? Any wishes?
This time, no.
No. Alright guys, let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Apart from that, we'll be back next week to do the show, obviously. And obviously after tonight, we will be putting up the review of the Polaris. Ferrets was kind enough to give me a tour of it. So yeah, we'll put that up as well. So enjoy that. Apart from that, guys, have a great night and enjoy.